Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm bringing you the second episode in Road to Ranked. Yesterday we had a pretty awesome match against a really unique team, so if you have not watched that battle, definitely check it out. You guys showed a lot of support for the first video, so thank you all so much, and as always, let's aim for another 500 likes on this video to keep up the daily uploads. You guys are doing an awesome job, and I'll do my best to keep up with the videos. I'm going with the same team this time just because I wanted to show off Mega CAMERUPT a bit more. Last game, I actually didn't go for the Trick Room option on my team, so we'll see if I actually managed to set up Trick Room successfully this time around. My rating is around 1650 now. I played a game after yesterday's match just to see how my team fared, and it still did pretty well. So my overall record right now is 14-3, and of course my overall goal for the ladder is over 1900. I'm going to find a 1605 rated player from Osaka, Japan. He's got a team of Cresselia, Heatran, Garchomp, Conkeldurr, Gardevoir, and Kangaskhan. So it's a very 2013-esque team with... It's actually like half 2013, half 2014. He's got the Crest, Heatran, Conkeldurr, which were actually all parts of my 2013 Worlds team. And he's got the Garchomp, Gardevoir, Kangaskhan, all which were really common this year. So it should be interesting because I've got the Mega CAMERUPT and he's got a Trick Room, I'm sure, mode on his team as well. But he does look pretty weak to Trick Room, so if I can set up Trick Room, CAMERUPT should be able to do pretty darn well. I think Hariyama actually looks pretty good in this matchup as well. Probably not going to want to bring Sylveon, though it does counter the Garchomp and the Conkeldurr pretty well. So this is going to be a tough match. We both have Cresselia, which is interesting. I'm definitely going to lead with mine. I'm kind of thinking of who I want to pair it up with, and I'm leaning towards Hariyama with a Rotom and CAMERUPT in the back. By leading with Cresselia and Hariyama, even if he chooses to lead with his own Crest, I can just switch out to the Rotom I've got in the back to take any incoming just Psychic type attacks, because Rotom walls that pretty well. I want to bring Bisharp, but I think the Conkeldurr and the Heatran really scare me off. Though now that Dark actually hits Heatran for neutral, might be worth bringing it, so I'm still thinking about it. But by bringing Hariyama, I really threaten the Kangaskhan too, which is what I'm scared of the most. It's tough to leave Sylveon on the bench as well, but I think Heatran is really what's scaring me the most. That definitely probably gives me the toughest matchup on the team. So I'm going to go with Crest, Hari, Rotom, CAMERUPT, and we'll see how it plays out. If I can set up Trick Room, CAMERUPT can kind of just blow through his team with one-hit KOs. And Rotom is a really great check to the Heatran he's got. And Cresselia was one of the best ways to beat Conkeldurr back in VGC 2013. So if he does bring in his Conkeldurr this time around, suppose I'll do around the same. So I'm going to go with Crest Hariyama. Let's see what he leads with. This is definitely turning out to be one of my favorite leads. Looks like he's going to go with his own Crest and Heatran. So not a surprising lead combination there on my opponent's end. Not really sure what to expect though. On the first turn, I can just go for the close combat onto the Heatran, but I would really suspect the Heatran to have substitutes. So the play that makes a lot of sense for him is to sub with the Heatran and Psychic type attack my Hariyama. So I'm going to Helping Hand Knockoff because I know I've got Rotom Wash in the back, which can wall that Heatran perfectly. And since I have Assault Vest, Hariyama, there's not very much he can do. Oh, wow, it's Sunny Day coming right out from that Cresselia. We're going to see a Heat Wave from the Heatran? Let's see. Yeah, he just goes for it. Very, very interesting turn one from my opponent there. He's still not going to do very much to either of my Pokemon since I am very bulky with both. And the Helping Hand Knockoff does over 50% and knocks off the Citrus Berry, which is pretty darn awesome, actually, I'd say so. So that was a really good turn for me there, as I got a lot of damage off. I wasn't anticipating Helping Hand Sunny Day, excuse me, not Helping Hand Sunny Day, but Sunny Day Heat Wave. But I'm not going to mind that too much. I think that actually helps me. It's definitely a turn I appreciated more. I'm going to go for Trick Room here. And I think now I'm going to go for the close combat onto... actually, I'm tempted to switch out Hari into CAMERUPT. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't want Hariyama to take too much damage right now. For example, a Psychic type attack plus another Heat Wave could mean trouble for me. So instead I'm going to switch out to CAMERUPT, which can take attacks relatively well. Don't want to bring in Rotom Wash here just because he's got the Sun up now, which means Hydro Pump's damage is reduced. However, I don't know too much about CAMERUPT in terms of switching in damage, and he's actually going to go for an Icy Wind, which I was not anticipating. But I'm not going to mind that because it actually just makes my Cresselia even faster now that I'm going to be able to get up Trick Room. He goes for the Flash Cannon. Wow, that was surprising. not going to do too much to the camera up there, especially since I resist it. But maybe I should have just stayed in and went for the close combat. Either way, good turn for me there. Set up Trick Room successfully, which is always really, really good. And I'm definitely in a solid position right now. Now here I really think he's going to switch out the Heatran, so I'm actually tempted to go for a Helping Hand Heat Wave. That'd be a ballsy call, but I'm definitely going to... oh, you know what? I'm going to Helping Hand and Earth Power the Heatran. Because it means I either one-hit KO the Heatran or whatever switches in. And even if he protects, I don't think the Crest would have Icy Wind, Sunny Day, and Trick Room all in one move. He's not going to switch out though, so I assume there's a Protect coming out from Heatran. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. CAMERUPT is going to get that nice Mega Evolution off. Of course, shiny CAMERUPT looking dope. Gonna get that Helping Hand off. Let's see if he goes for the Protect or not with Heatran. He indeed does go for a Protect, so good play by my opponent there. Now the real question is what Cresselia is going to do. Presumably... Oh, wow! He goes for the Skill Swap, taking away my CAMERUPT's ability, Sheer Force. And Cresselia is going to get that. So, nice play by my opponent there. Very, very smartly done. So, I don't really lose much other than, of course, my ability there. But, of course, I can just go for the same play again. But now the question is whether he stays in or switches out the Heatran. I'm assuming he's switching out. I think he's not going to want to lose the Heatran right away. So I'm going to go for a Helping Hand Heat Wave, and we'll see how it plays out. If I am able to call this correctly, I'll be very, very happy. It was probably an unnecessarily risky move. I could have just went for the Helping Hand Earth Power again, but if I am able to call this correctly, it would put me up so much in the big game that I think I'd be able to just seal up a win, especially with Hariyama still in the back to take care of the Heatran. Interesting to still see Flash Cannon on that. We've seen Heat Wave, Flash Cannon, Protect, so the question is what the last move is, and you'd assume it's the Earth Power. My opponent's taking a while here. I hope that means he's switching out. And he does switch, so I do make the correct call. Let's see what's coming in. I'd expect Conkeldurr. That does look like Conkeldurr's Japanese name, and it is. So I'm going to be able to get a Helping Hand Sun Boosted Heat Wave off. Let's see if I can KO the Conkeldurr with it. And it connects. That's huge. Doesn't miss either of my opponent's Pokemon. And it picks up the KO on both of my opponent's Pokemon. What a good turn for me there. I was really hoping to see the Conkeldurr come in, and my prediction pays off perfectly. Of course, that was a risky move, but I just, gauged my chances there, and I figured if he's make the switch there into Conkeldurr, it would almost mean a guaranteed victory for me. Of course, still not over yet, but knocking out both of my opponent's Pokemon there is huge for me. Especially since his last two are Kangaskhan and Heatran, both which Hariyama actually deals with relatively well. And I've still got Rotom in the back too, so I can burn the two. I'm up 4-2, I've barely taken any damage. Still possible for me to lose this, so I don't want to choke it out, but in a really good position right now. However, this next turn is pretty rough for me. I'm not going to be able to do very much. I'm going to Ice Beam the Kang. I assume a Fake Out's coming out from the Kangaskhan onto the CAMERUPT. Actually, you would think he's going to double target the CAMERUPT, so I'm just going to go for an Earth Power onto the Heatran and an Ice Beam. Even if he doubles up into the CAMERUPT, I get some free damage off against the Kangaskhan, and Hariyama gets to come in for free the next turn. If he doesn't Fake Out the Heatran, then my CAMERUPT, his Heatran's done for. He's actually going to go for a Protect with Heatran, which is a very, very smart play on my opponent's end. That was very clever. So I'm going to get an Ice Beam off, but I'm assuming the Kang is going to go for a Power Up Punch, which may give him the chance to get back into this game. And that was brilliantly played by my opponent's end, so props to him for that play. I really should have considered that. Don't know why I didn't, and that's going to give him the chance to get back into this match, which is really good for him. Sunlight's going to fade here. However, I don't think Trick Room ends yet. We're just going to have to wait and see one more turn. And it doesn't end. So now, I can just go for the the Earth Power onto Heatran. I don't think Sucker Punch can KO CAMERUPT. Though if it can, I'm in some trouble. So I'm going to go for a... Let's see. Hariyama and Rotom in the back. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Ice Beam once again onto the Kang and the Earth Power. If Sucker Punch doesn't KO CAMERUPT here, oh, he goes for the double and he gets it! No! Oh, nice play by my opponent there. I mean, at that point I was just banking him off him not getting the double Protect, but he manages to pull it off. He goes for the Facade! Which I'm actually happy to see, because Facade's power, of course, even at times 2 is still less than the power of for example, return or double edge. So even though he gets the double there, I'm going to be able to bring in Hariyama and get Trick Room up again. So I feel pretty good right now, despite the fact that Kangaskhan is at +2 and I don't have a way to reduce that attack. So here I'm going to go for the Trick Room and the Fake Out onto Kang, and there's really nothing he can do about that. Unfortunately, that double protect is going to set me back a bit, but given how the battle played out, seeing how he didn't KO Cresselia the last turn, which I think was a crucial mistake on his end, I'm going to be able to set up Trick Room again, and that means, that's really good, basically. It also means the Rotom in the back, should Hariyama faint here, is going to be able to outspeed Kangaskhan, get a Will-O-Wisp off. Although he does have Facade now that I see. Cresselia actually avoids this Heat Wave. It is going to connect with the Hariyama, but with the Assault Vest and no Sun, it should not do very much. Hariyama takes that like a champion, as Crest does get this Trick Room up successfully. Things are looking, once again, pretty good for me. As Crest continues to heal up, of course, with the leftovers, but now I can just close combat the Kang, which I'm assuming doesn't carry Protect. Here I'm going to switch out into Rotom because Crest is somewhat useless, basically. I'm going to go for the close combat into Kangaskhan, and by Rotom coming in, basically that's just going to force more offensive pressure. Cresselia doesn't really do much under Trick Room, at least since CAMERUPT's not around. Helping Hand, sure, it helps, but of course, close combat already picks up KOs on Kangaskhan and Heatran, so there's not really much point of having Cresselia, and if you have Trick Room, you want to take advantage of all the turns you've got. So not going to keep Cresselia in here right now. Going to bring in Rotom Wash, which threatens the Heatran a lot, and can even burn the Kang, though at this point I'm not sure if burning the Kang is the right move, given the fact that it actually has Facade. Of course, Facade, a pretty rare move on Kang. You often see Return or Double Edge, but it does make, you know, eating Will-O-Wisp a bit better. But since I do see it now, I'm not going to burn it. And he's not going to protect with with Kangaskhan, so I'm going to pick up the KO there, which is big, and I think that's going to basically be game. There's nothing that Heatran can do against a Rotom Wash. So that prediction where I predicted Heatran to switch out and Conkeldurr to come in was huge, and essentially sealed up the battle for me. He's going to go for another Heat Wave here. Not going to do too much, of course, my Rotom Wash. Actually brings my Hariyama down to 28 HP, and gets the burn on Rotom. So if there's any way my opponent can claw back into this game, it's through those attacks. But still, not very much you can do, as I can just double up into the Heatran this turn. Not going to go for the Hydro, just going to close combat T-Bolt. Of course, he's going to protect and try to stall out my Trick Room, but even if he does stall out Trick Room, I can switch in Hariyama to Crest, set up Trick Room again, bring Hariyama, call it a game. The burn on Rotom makes things a bit more annoying, but at this point it's just closing things up. He actually has the Chople Berry, which kind of explains the first turn play, why he just went for the Sunny Day and the Heat Wave. So I might not actually be able to win the game this turn. Let's see how much Thunderbolt does. But with Crest and Rotom Wash, there's really not much my opponent can do. He is going to get another Heat Wave off. That's going to KO Hariyama. But now it's Rotom and Cresselia against the Heatran. And with my Cresselia having leftovers, not really much my opponent can do. And of course, I didn't want to Hydro Pump there just because I know Thunderbolt is a 2-hit knockout even if Heatran has Triple Berry. So I'm going to eat my Citrus Berry there. He's going to basically have to get like a billion protects, and I'm sure he sees this as well. And even Cresselia can, I'd say Cresselia can win against Heatran one-on-one given how low Heatran's HP is at this point. So hopefully he doesn't make this battle any longer than it really needs to be, but we'll see. Ice Beam and Thunderbolt here, of course. No other play really to make. And now it's just kind of formalities. But yeah, talking about the course of the game, saving Hariyama for the potential Kangaskhan Heatran matchup was huge. He's not going to protect here, so he's going to allow me to just double up into the Heatran. Ice Beam obviously not going to do anything to that Heatran given the 4x resist, but Thunderbolt here is able to knock out the Heatran and close the game up. So a 2-0 win for me against a very threatening team, a mix of Pokemon from both VGC 2013 and 2014, but in the end I was able to get a really nice prediction off, predicting Conkeldurr to come in. I think that really changed the momentum and course of the game. You know, had he not switched out Heatran there, I would have really been in a bad position, but it was very unlikely, at least in my opinion, for him to just lose a Pokemon like that, and Conkeldurr would have given him an excellent chance of coming back had I not Helping Hand Heat Wave there, but that just shows sometimes you should go for the ballsy predictions because they can play out, and that really determined the momentum for the rest of the battle. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. It was really, really close. I definitely had a lot of fun playing in it. Of course, leave a like if you enjoyed the battle. 500 likes for another video tomorrow as we continue to climb up the ladder in the Road to Ranked VGC 15 series. That's it for today's video, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.